So we're just waiting on the last player. I'm really, really interested to see this Cartel Chimera play.
Me too. Gonna be good. Alright, we ready?
Yep.
Get this going. And feel free to do your intro whenever.
Okay, go. Well, yeah, like, welcome back, guys. This is the 5th game now, if I'm correct. I think I am. We see Team Kirby, their first game out, up against Team Penta Sports, their second game. As I mentioned just now, Team Kirby going with a Chimera Cartel combo, which is very interesting. First time we've seen that combo in the competition. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And then Penta Sports are sticking with their Cartel US combo.
Looks like we got Cruelty with double barracks out right away. Gonna take probably both the center banks. Or try to, anyways.
Interesting that he went a single gold double barracks. Now I usually go double gold double barracks, just so you have that gold income, but that could work out for
Yeah,
him.
exactly. We'll see what happens.
I'm even more surprised that he chose to take that single gold and take the whole field. He could have, if you have a look at the resource placement, he could have gone for the half gold and aluminium.
Ah, yes, he could have.
Don't know if he just missed that or if he did that deliberately, but who knows.
Only time will tell. Ganon went for that with his cartel setup.
Yeah, Ganon did get that. Universe also could have done that, but chose not to.
Yep. Also, Universe with double refineries on the oil, which I don't see much out of Chimera. Usually you just drop it and upgrade and then grab a whole nother field altogether.
Yeah, interesting play. We'll see how it goes for them. I mean, it could work if you want to avoid getting that upgrade early on.
He's got the upgrade on one of them.
So
We'll see if he does the other one. I just feel like if you do both of them as Chimera, you end up burning through that oil so fast.
Yeah, maybe he'll go with one on, one off.
Here we see Cruelty. He's getting the far bank in the middle at first. Pretty good idea. He's going to deny it from the other team.
Yeah, and he uses his recon just to block it off, just in case.
Exactly. Very, very well played.
Ganon tried to get a scout onto Starkweather, but his K-Max got shot down almost straight away.
Nope. I caught that at the very last second. Universe looking like he's gonna play it safe. He's dropping a sentinel turret down next to one of his refineries.
Interesting move. Universe just lost his recon unit to Cruelty's, with Cruelty having the US recon with slightly more range, so he kind of out-microed him.
There's Starkweather getting his recon into Ganon space. Got a pretty good look at everything, too.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a scout on the whole base, so he'll know that he's gone for that early vehicle bay.
And now Cruelty was something interesting. He did sell his barracks, which is standard, but he's going double on the aluminum right now.
That is very interesting.
However, I suppose he does have the bank advantage of all the players right now.
That's true. I mean, it's a clever
so...
move. Yeah, a clever move doing that, taking all the banks, so you've got that good gold income, and then go single gold, double aluminium.
Yep, okay, now we see the logistics center coming out for that powerful US economy buff.
No surprises there.
Not at all.
Can see that Universe is going for like an early expand down the left-hand side.
I see that. Yep, and more sentinel turrets. Definitely playing it safe.
Which is probably a good idea. Because
I'd probably do the same thing against Penta, to be honest.
exactly, and Chimera's strengths do lie in the mid to late game, so if you can hold
Yeah.
your own in the early game, then you'll do well.
Yep.
And he has, in fact, he stayed with that unupgraded second gold, which is good.
Yes. And there goes his spear vehicle bay dropping out shortly. And Cruelty is about to achieve DEFCON 2. And Ganon is going out with a Jackal.
Cruelty just lost a recon unit in Starkweather's base.
Oh, I missed this. Ganon has Scorpios harassing Universe's economy already.
So he does.
Right at his expand. And looks like Ganon positioned his Jackal near the bank to make sure that the other teams don't get in there to harass it. Pick off any infantry that try to run there.
Starkweather does have a single automatic pushing in towards Ganon's base.
I see. So far, Ganon has gone uncontested with his Scorpio harass, except Starkweather just responded with his own Scorpio. He took one out, and it dropped. Ganon dropped 2 POWs out of that Scorpio.
Nice. And Starkweather was able to pick up a POW in his own base to that recon that Cruelty lost.
Very nice. It looks like the Scorpio harass is down. The automatic of Starkweather is about to go into Ganon's base. But there is a Super Hind. Just passed it by, and they're going to catch each other. Pretty sure the Super Hind wins in this situation.
Pretty sure you're right there.
Probably would have been a better idea for him to just go in and try and shoot down some K-Max.
Universe is going to pick up those 2 prisoners of war.
We got some Jackal combat happening in the middle. Funny, because the 2 Jackals couldn't shoot each other. So Ganon just went down to Starkweather's bank instead. Quite amusing. Well, it's not quite yet in range, so he's not taking people out of it just yet.
3 Hinds on the way from Ganon already.
Not surprised at all there.
Nope.
And it looks like they already have the napalm bombs too.
So that will do some damage.
You can see them hanging off of the wings. Yeah, definitely. Question is he going to go for the base right away, or is he going to try and knock out the bank and cut off even more of that? Okay, there he goes with the Jackal. He got the... forced them out of the garrison. Here come the Hinds. That one Grinch is not going to do anything.
No. Interesting that Ganon brought Grinches in his Hinds.
Well, he wants to shoot down the eco of Starkweather. It is interesting that he dropped them all off at once.
Yeah.
Usually you go around and you drop one at each refinery just so that the other person has to work hard to get rid of them. And yeah, the automatic. Oh, he got the Grinches close enough, and the Grinches are actually able to attack the automatic.
They do almost nothing, though, in damage.
It is still very entertaining to watch.
Good on him for even knowing that, though.
Exactly.
Now...
the Hinds coming back, pulling back from the automatics a little bit.
Which is a good move. Universe has gone straight to Terminators. Which is probably a good idea with the helipad coming out from Cruelty, so they are going to be facing a lot of air. So automatics...
Like is there just is it a bug on my screen, or is he got... yeah, he's got a second sword vehicle bay going up as well.
Yeah, so like automatics and terms versus air, probably your best bet.
I would agree, yeah. Because even though they're maybe not the most potent, they're much harder to destroy by Hind. So over time, they will deal more damage, in my opinion. Not to mention the Terminators, and if you upgrade the automatics, are going to be able to shoot down a lot of the missiles. Got Ganon's Hinds coming back, going for Starkweather's Bank. Gets the
One
napalm
Hind
drop
down.
on there. Yep, there's a couple Grinches garrisoned in that town. And Ganon still has 3 other Hinds back at his base that are repairing right now. So this is just a small harass force at the moment. It's only growing deadlier by the moment. And if we look over at Universe base, behind his bank, Little Bird from Cruelty dropped off a couple snipers and a javelin. So
Yeah,
far he's not doing much, but once he starts advancing with those snipers, he'll be able to clear out that bank, and I don't think Universe has much he can do right now, except for the Terminators, if he brought them over there.
yeah,
It doesn't look like he noticed yet.
they definitely want to interrupt the economy of Universe because he is producing out of double sword vehicle bays non-stop now.
So Ganon, he's got Hinds coming in from the back, and he's got 4 more on the way from the front. Gonna hit from both sides, try to split up the attention of those automatics.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
And yes, Universe did send a Terminator, one single Terminator over there, and it's wrecking everything. Ganon losing another Hind, but he still has 6 to his name, which is more than enough at this stage of the game. Shooting down a lot of the eco of Starkweather.
And we see Guardians harassing from Cruelty as well, but they're running into Terminators now, which could hurt a little bit.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to run into with Guardians.
No,
It's not something you usually plan on running into with Guardians at this stage of the game.
you definitely don't. So 1 Little Bird and 2 Guardians down so far.
Yep. Those Guardians are doing the Terminators are doing a very good job at protecting themselves from the Guardians.
Although one term was caught off guard and died.
It looks like Ganon is coming over with his Hinds. He's going to start harassing Universe, but Universe does have some ninjas waiting.
That's very clever on his part.
And yeah, exactly. Yeah, very, very good. Especially since you get that first shot ambush as well, dealing a lot of damage to the Hinds.
So it looks like they came out with the expectation that they'd run into air, and that's exactly what they're running into.
Yep. They're playing it well so far. I was a little confused at first, but Universe made a very good plan. He's got ninjas and Terminators, which I feel like is just a minefield for helicopters.
And he does have a very strong economy because he's producing pretty much non-stop out of all 3.
Yeah, and he's expanding very, very aggressively and getting away with it. However, Ganon is starting to get quite the death ball of Hinds, and the Guardian count for Cruelty is growing as well. That first Terminator force just got picked off by the combined efforts of the Guardians and the Hinds. But the ninjas from Universe, he's keeping them spaced out quite nicely. Be prepared wherever that air comes from. Meanwhile, we see Bearcats from Starkweather harassing over Ganon's base, shooting down
Very
quite a
clever.
few K-Max in the process. The Guardians of Cruelty now picking away at Universe's aggressive expansion. Whole lot of harass happening right now. Everybody's just picking away at each other's economy.
Universe is going to hit those Guardians now, though, with those ninjas.
But here come the Hinds. And they're going to probably clean up. Yep, they took them all out. That was perfect timing by the Penta Sports team.
It was, yes.
All the missiles were already fired at Cruelty's helicopters. The Hinds went in and finished them off with the autocannons while they were exposed. Oh, the Terminators are out, and I've never actually... Oh, that's a Panseer, never mind. I thought it was that, electronic warfare thing. But no, it's a Panseer. But still good. It's able to shoot down a lot of the missiles coming from those Guardians, prevent them from capitalizing on their range. And we have another large group of ninjas as well out of universe.
Yeah, so Universe has got a pretty big force up at the moment. He just needs to use it properly.
All about execution at this point. Terminator Ninja Task Force is gathered up. And it looks like they're going to go in looking to pick off some helicopters. And we see Abrams. Abrams and Blazers out of Cruelty. And
So-
for all the projectiles that just flew through the air there, it's pretty hard to tell if anything at all happened, really.
I think a few helicopters did go down because those forces do look slightly small.
Yeah, it was a pretty even trade, though, considering what a large spectacle it was.
Yep. Ooh, scary, scary Delta coming out now.
Barracuds just flying over the battlefield. One of them got ripped apart by the Blazers. And those ninjas getting wrecked by the Blazers as well. Terminator's trying to save them, but there's just too many missiles. And yeah, that scary Delta gathering.
Now, the best... Go ahead.
The Super Hinds of Ganon back harassing Starkweather, preventing him from expanding his economy at all.
Interesting, we don't see much of a force up from Starkweather. He's got a lot of Grinches, that's for sure.
Yeah. He's got the Barracuds, and looks like now he is getting the X-32s. Which do have those missiles that can target the anti-aircraft weaponry. And Terminators and Hinds facing off. And we have the Deltas are also advancing. There's so much going on, I don't know what to watch.
Yeah, there's that little battle between the Delta and a few Abrams alongside the Blazers.
There's a couple of Terminators getting taken out in the process. It looks like the Super Hinds combined with a few, a single Spectre, I should say, picking off those Terminators. Looks like Cruelty is going to succeed in pushing hard with that task force he's got. He's cutting off Universe's expansions out in front of his base. And the last of Universe's Terminators on the other side of the map are getting picked off by the Hinds and the rest of the army of Penta.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Another little force of Terminators and Ninjas pushing forward now. Although what use those Ninjas will be right now is questionable because Cruelty doesn't have much air out at the moment. He has a lot of Abrams and Delta.
Yep.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
He did just start deploying some Raptors as well, and he shot down a couple Barracuds. And a couple Barracuds did trade off and get a few Hinds as well. It's a whole lot of picking off happening.
Yeah, those are Tusk 1 Abrams, not Tusk 2. They do have a few Hercules with them though.
And those ninjas, I don't think he meant to put them right there. They all got
No.
shot down.
Wasn't the best play
It was
by him.
no, very unfortunate. And here come the Guardians to back up that force. I think it was actually pretty intelligent for him to grab the Abrams because they're able to take on these non-upgraded Terminators with no problem.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
We
Still
are
not
seeing
sure what
nukes
Starkweather's
from
going
Cruelty.
for.
So Cruelty does have 2 nukes at the moment and he is getting the upgrade, 6% to go.
Oh man. He's not joking around. That's a lot of nukes.
And his economy is huge for this stage of the game.
And we got a GG out from Universe.
And Universe has surrendered.
Yep. Cruelty just now got Tusk 2 on his Abrams as well, and is just basically getting free roam on their economy. Looks like first game is gonna go to Penta.
That was good play. I mean, they knew what they'd be running into, and they did their best to counter it. It's just right now that
Indeed.
air is just so strong.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that
completely.
shows you the strength of air right there. That they built a perfect counter to air, and they still didn't win.
Yeah, pretty rough.
So
It was a
anyway,
very interesting match, though. A lot of back and forth the whole time. Very well played from both teams. A lot of
yes.
action constantly.
Interesting that Universe did get more kills than both the Penta guys. Anyway,
That is interesting.
we'll
But
be
yeah.
back in 5 or so minutes for the next game. Let's get the next game underway.
Let the helicopters begin.
Bigger map, so we might see a change. We might not. We'll have to see how it goes. They are all sticking to their same factions, which makes life easy.
Yes, indeed it does. Got Team Kirby at the bottom and Penta up at the top.
Now,
But they're starting in the same relation to each other as well.
so they are. I'd be interested to see on this bigger map. Universe was very good with his his macro, getting up his economy, and he built up a very good economy, so I'm interested to see if he can use that big economy to his benefit on a bigger map, with slightly more time on hand.
Yeah, I was wondering just the same thing. They have a bit more room on this map to work with without being back practically on each other's front doorstep by the time they start expanding.
Yep. Interesting, we saw Starkweather and Ganon's scouts cross each other in the middle. And the first unit that Starkweather gets up is a Grinch just to kill that scout. And the same goes for Ganon.
But just a moment. You guys who are having issues in the chat with slow mode being activated, let me know if it's still a problem, because it's kind of messed up on my end. The checkbox, whenever I check it, says that it's turned off, and when I uncheck slow mode, it says that it's on, so it's very confusing. Just let me know if it's still happening. It should not be on.
I dumb
Judge-
for not knowing what slow mode is.
Basically, it prevents anytime you send a message, you can't send another one for a certain amount of time, so that you can't sit there and type a whole bunch of things. It's usually used for streams that have a lot of people in chat to kind of ease it out, so that there's not a whole bunch. You can actually read things without it like shooting off the screen.
Sorry guys, Amadeus was expecting big numbers tonight.
Yeah, these gigantic numbers. We had to turn on the 100-second slow mode.
So interesting, like a bunch of pings all over Starkweather's base from Ganon. I think they were all from Ganon.
Like pretty standard openers from all these guys so far.
Yeah, very standard. Interesting.
Apart from Universe again, but he is sticking with what he did last time.
Yeah, interesting what Cruelty's done. He's gone for the double aluminium, but the one aluminium's taking half and the other aluminium is taking all of them. Interesting. So not a half-half double, more a half-whole double. That early sentinel turret up from Universe again. Probably just to stop that cartel scouting.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you said, so far very slow standard economy plays. single aluminium from Starkweather where we've seen double aluminium from Ganon. Although we see that Starkweather already has his vehicles bay up, whereas Ganon doesn't. And he's going to get his repair center up.
Alright, well, just a quick moment while we're still in these early stages. I'm going to double check some Twitch settings because people are having a lot of trouble with this, and I don't know why it's even a
Okay.
problem.
Well, right now all we're seeing is a huge push for all the banks from Penta, and absolutely no push from either Universe or Starkweather.
Going for that nice cash income from those banks.
So that Sentinel turret doing its job and shooting down a K-Max as soon as it came anywhere close to Universe's base, I mean. Interesting that they've made absolutely no attempt for the banks, even the one between them. They've completely ignored the banks. Other than the ones in their base, of course. And that could be a mistake. I mean, giving Penta that much oil is not the best thing to do. Gold, I should say.
Alright, well again guys, I do apologize. I don't know what's going on with the slow mode. I don't really have the time to take a look at it right now because we do have the tournament going on, so we're going to focus on this. I will take a look at it afterwards.
So we saw an automatic from Starkweather run into Ganon's base. I think it killed 2 K-Maxes and then it died to a Scorpio. It now looks like Ganon's going to
Alright.
return the favor with 2 Scorpios heading towards Starkweather's base.
I see. Oh, but they're taking a turn, going off road.
Finally a push from Universe to take one of the banks. Very late.
He's also got some SAS joining those soldiers, so even if they arrive too late, they can shoot some guys out of the bank.
Starkweather reacting to seeing those Scorpios by getting up 2 Vipers. A few more Vipers coming out of his barracks now. A ping from Starkweather onto Ganon's resource expansion, which is currently unguarded.
Ganon Scorpios getting awfully close to Starkweather's base.
It looks like he will try and loop around just to be a little bit sneaky.
Well, judging from the person who just spammed like 5 messages in a row, I think we got it disabled, so hooray.
And that is why we don't give you nice things.
Scorpios picking off Vipers. Oh, but there's already a Hind.
And one
That's not-
Scorpio down.
Not good for Oh, there's 2 Hinds. Not at all good for Scorpios.
No. I feel like I prefer that automatic or early play, because even if you can't kill whatever defenses they have up, you can still kill a few K-Maxes, and you're not going to be doing that with Scorpios.
No. Well, Ganon sent the Scorpio over to Universe Space, so, and considering that these Crushers are not upgraded, he might actually be able to pick off a few.
Well, that Scorpio is currently stopped, and here come the Hinds, and it's not
Yeah,
ready.
oh, yeah. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, and it was kind of bad play in my opinion. If he had moved forward, he could have killed a few Crushers before dying, but no.
I would agree it is bad play, but I also can understand in a map like this when you have so much going on in so many different places.
This is true. Universe putting a ninja over Ganon's base, getting some scouting information.
The wrong base. I see. And if he gets the missiles for him, he might try and be sneaky and shoot down some K-Max in the process.
Yeah, that could work. There are a few Grinches though sitting in Ganon's base. his reaction
A
to seeing
few is
those
all it
hives.
takes. Like we have two ninjas looking at the base of Ganon. We have one on the right side as well as
We
the
do,
left.
yes.
And a third, which is now harassing K-Max on Ganon's expansion. And doing a pretty good job of it, too. It's already got, I believe, 3 K-Max to its name. Still no reaction yet out of him.
Well, he's got no detection, so while he's got, and he's sitting there with contractors, so he can't do much. Here come Hines though.
Well, he can send the Grinches because when the ninjas fire, they have to reveal themselves.
Yeah, I know that, but I mean he didn't have he moved his Grinches out, so
I see.
he just had those contractors sitting there. Anyway, some decent harass there on the refinery lines.
Yep, and Ganon is bringing back his Hines in response to all that stealth ninja action happening.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
Another little bit of harass going down on the lower expansion of Ganon.
Yep, Universe is bringing up. He's got 5 ninjas in total over there, picking off all of that economy from Ganon.
And that will hurt because that is one of Cartel's weak points, their economy.
Yep.
Stealth enemy unit detected.
And it's a bit too many ninjas even for him to run his Super Hines into right now.
Yeah, I would, especially since they're not even upgraded at this stage in the game. I would not be feeling good if I was in Ganon's position.
Although we are seeing a huge armor push now out of Cruelty, and there won't be much up to defend that because these ninjas won't be able to help.
Nope. So the ninjas are doing a lot of work at Ganon's base, but we'll see what happens at Universe base when that armor column arrives. Here we see Ganon. He waited and he picked a good moment and was able to pick off those ninjas after they already fired their missiles at the K-Max. Very good play.
Starkweather harassing Ganon with his Hines, and there is still one ninja alive from Universe. Although here comes
And
that
here-
armor force into Universe's base.
Yeah, that is so many tanks. They don't even have Tusk 1, but I don't think they need it in this quantity. However, those Sentinel turret could be kind of a problem for the non-upgraded strikers. You're gonna have to focus on it first.
Yeah, Sentinel turrets are not weak. They are 60 HP and they do deal decent damage.
And those Blazers catching a bunch of those ninjas in production.
That was bad micro from Universe.
Yeah. I think he's still focused on the other side of the map where he still has a couple ninjas. And Starkweather is harassing Ganon's bank, gonna take even more of that gold income away from him. Universe is looking like he's gonna be in a dire situation.
Yeah.
He was going straight for Terminators again, and unfortunately, Cruelty made it to the base just as the factory got up and was able to pick it off. These strikers do now have Tusk 1 as well.
Although here come Hines from Starkweather. Those should be able to help a little bit, but they are going to be hurt by those blazers.
Yeah, there are still, and the Blazers do have the Stinger missile upgrade. There's only 2 of them, but at this stage, with unupgraded Hines, it's enough to keep them at bay. Gonna have to dive in and out just like what he's doing right now.
And slowly that armor force is getting picked off, but they are doing a lot of damage in the meantime.
Yes, Universe has taken a lot of damage in return. I think the only thing they can hope for is that they dealt enough damage to Ganon to justify Universe taking this much damage, but I'm not so sure. This is a lot of pain.
It is, yes. And you take a look at that hind force from Ganon now.
Yep, I see it coming across the map. That's a lot of them. And there's the surrender out of Universe.
Yeah. And that's GG. That game
And
made
there's
a lot
a-
faster than the first one.
Surprisingly, especially considered that it's a bigger map.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Penta 2-0 swipe right across Team Kirby.
Yeah, and I think it was Cruelty throwing the dummy there and going for armor instead of air that kind of threw them off guard, because if he had gone for air there was a lot of ninjas up and they would have been able to defend, but unfortunately that armor force just had nothing to stop it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a quick 2-0 game tonight. We will be back tomorrow on Tuesday for the next game. I'm honestly not sure who will be playing, but someone will be playing, I can promise you that. Okay, so we'll see everybody tomorrow. The game's slightly
Sounds
later
good.
tomorrow. I think it's an 8 o'clock game if I'm not mistaken, so it'll be an hour after this game started.